Hello and welcome to Miss Hannah Loves Grammar. In this video we'll be concentrating on Volume 1, Letters 1 to 4 of Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. So we meet Captain Robert Walton. He's writing to his sister Margaret Saville about his soon approaching journey to the North Pole. Walton's both excited by the journey but seems rather depressed at times. He's aware he'll need to improve his mood for both him and the crew he journeys with. A few months pass and he embarks on the voyage to the North Pole. The voyage was delayed due to floating sheets of ice and stiff gales, and then his ship becomes surrounded by ice. In these conditions he sees something that had the shape of a man, though actually was a gigantic creature on a sledge. The reader later learns this is the monster. The next morning, Walton then discovers a weak man who is cold and has a foreign accent. This man is Victor Frankenstein, and he is on the brink of death. Walton looks after Victor and feels both admiration and pity for him. Victor begins to tell Walton his story. Walton aims to record the story as faithfully as he can and send the response that he has created to his sister, Margaret. So what does Shelley accentuate in these letters through language to draw our attention as readers? First thing worthy of note is the issue of purpose. Captain Robert Walton says nothing contributes so much to tranquilise the mind as a steady purpose, a point on which the soul may fix. He is highlighting his brazen ambition to go to the North Pole. The semantic associations within the language he has used of the compass from steady, point and fix echo the reality that all magnets point north. Here, Shelley is portraying Walton's determination, and it's symbolic that magnets point north on a compass, and he is travelling north. But the issue of purpose overrides so many other themes across this novel. We seek to learn about the purpose that Victor has as a creator, and the purpose the monster wishes he knew he had. Another theme that draws our attention in this section is that of friendship, and it remains a pivotal theme across this novel. It is a highlighted desire for so many characters, including Walton, whose mood is definitely affected by loneliness. He shares with his sister how he hopes to have a friend to explore the North Pole with, but states that his complaints are useless because he's not expecting to make friends on the wide ocean. Him meeting Victor is the start of another friendship in the novel and a journey into the real story of what has happened between Victor and the monster. Shelley also highlights the importance of friendships through Victor and Henry's friendship. It's important also to note that later in the novel, when the monster is refused a mate, it amplifies to us as readers the damage that isolation can do to one character or to someone's sense of well-being. Finally, it would be impossibly silly to walk away from this section of the novel and fail to acknowledge the initial descriptions of Frankenstein and the monster. Not only are they contrasting, they allude and hint to character traits for each of our protagonists. So whilst Victor is described as attractive and amiable, which sound like on the surface very wonderful characteristics for a young man, and a European man which suggests sophistication, there are hints that he is wretched. And by that, something has gone wrong, something rooted in his character. Yet Walton, granted he doesn't get to know the monster in this section. He's simply looking at a character far away from the boat. He calls the monster, without realising it's the monster, a savage inhabitant of some undiscovered land. That contrast from the sophistication of Victor to the savage of the monster echoes the struggle that the monster has in being accepted in society, and equally highlights the kind of arrogance that we see from Victor as creator when we learn more of his story. So what should our takeaways from the letters 1 to 4 be? Well, we meet the first of our narrators, the passionate Captain Robert Walton. His role is to draw us into the story and in a way make what is supernatural in our plot seem more plausible. We also get to see a glimpse of the monster and then are introduced to Victor. Shelley creates opportunities for us to examine these characters from afar. It builds suspense and definitely gets us hooked. We learn that Walton has a changeable mood and has emotional instability that is intensifying. And we also learn that both friendship and knowledge are crucial themes to this novel. Knowledge is hinted through the suspense of who Victor is when we find him, and who the monster might be when they see the savage in the distance. Victor and Walter are friends, in part because they have a few things in common. Walton would give up his own life for the knowledge he wants, and this echoes the kinds of decisions that Victor made as the novel unfolds. There's no denying it. The letters are gripping, and they introduce us to the first volume, where arguably the real action begins. Why not subscribe to Miss Hannah Loves Grammar for all things English, literary and grammatical?